If there was one thing I'd learned over the past 48 hours, it was this. The universe had an impeccable sense of timing and an even better sense of humor. "We're here," Maddox announced as he pulled into the circular driveway of the boutique hotel. I looked up at the charming stone building nestled among oak trees, warm lights glowing from every window. It was beautiful. Peaceful. Exactly what I needed after a rehearsal dinner that had aged me approximately 7 years. The rehearsal itself had gone perfectly. The dinner? Not so much. I'd caught Declan looking at me more times than I'd cared to count. His mother had hugged me like I was still part of the family. His aunt had asked if I was seeing anyone nice these days. Mia had proudly introduced Maddox as my boyfriend to approximately 37 people. And every single time someone smiled and said, "You two make such a lovely couple," Maddox had squeezed my hand just a little tighter. I wasn't sure whether he was comforting me or simply committing to the role. Either way, it had worked. "You okay?" I blinked. Maddox was already standing beside my door, one hand resting on the roof of the car. "You've been quiet. I'm tired." He gave me a look that said he knew I was lying. I gave him one that said I wasn't ready to talk about it. He nodded. "Fair enough." Inside, the lobby smelled faintly of cedarwood and fresh coffee. A crackling fireplace flickered in the corner despite the cool spring evening, and soft jazz drifted through hidden speakers. The receptionist greeted us with a bright smile. "Good evening. Checking in?" "Reservation for Harper Quinn," I said. She typed for a moment, then paused. Her smile faltered. One moment. That was never a good sign. She clicked her mouse several more times, brows furrowed. "Oh." I exchanged a glance with Maddox. "Oh," he repeated. The receptionist looked up apologetically. "I'm terribly sorry. Here we go. There appears to have been a booking error." My heart sank. "What kind of error?" She gave us the kind of smile reserved for people about to receive deeply inconvenient news. "It seems your second room was never confirmed," I frowned. "Second room?" "Yes." She turned the monitor slightly. "We only have one reservation under your name." "No," I shook my head. "I booked 2 rooms months ago. I can see that one request was started, but unfortunately it wasn't completed." I pinched the bridge of my nose. "Please. Not today." "I can fix this," she said quickly. Hope bloomed. "We'll just move one of you to another room." She typed again. The hopeful expression slowly disappeared. If we had one. The silence that followed was deafening. We're fully booked. Of course they were. Wedding season. Why wouldn't they be? "So," Maddox said carefully, "what exactly are our options?" The receptionist winced. "I'm afraid." She slid 2 key cards across the counter. "We only have one room available." I stared at the cards, then at her, then back at the cards. "One room. Yes," I swallowed. "With," she smiled nervously, "one king-size bed." Maddox coughed into his fist. I closed my eyes. Somewhere, the universe was absolutely howling with laughter. "I'm so sorry," the receptionist said. "We'd be happy to bring extra blankets if someone would prefer the floor." "The floor?" Maddox said immediately. "The bed," I said at exactly the same time. We both turned to look at each other. He blinked. "You can have the bed. I'm not making you sleep on the floor. I'll survive. You'll wake up unable to walk. I've slept in worse places." "I don't believe you." "You shouldn't." I sighed. "It's one night." "It is. We're adults." "Mostly. We can share." He studied me for a second. "You sure?" I nodded with far more confidence than I actually felt. "It's fine." A tiny smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. "I have a feeling." "What?" "It's really not." I snatched the key cards off the counter before he could say another word. "Come on." He picked up both suitcases with an amused grin. "As you wish, planner girl." The lift doors slid open. Neither of us spoke as we stepped inside. The silence wasn't awkward. It was anticipatory, like we both knew exactly what waited upstairs. The elevator chimed. Room 412. I unlocked the door, pushed it open, and froze. Right in the center of the room was one enormous king-size bed, decorated with rose petals. Maddox looked at the bed, then at me, then back at the bed. "Well," I sighed dramatically, "I blame the universe." He grinned. "I was going to blame the wedding planner." "Oh, don't you dare." He laughed as he wheeled our suitcases inside. Somewhere in the hallway, a door closed. I looked back at the bed. One bed. One night. One spectacularly terrible idea. And somehow I had a feeling sleep was going to be the least of our problems. I stood at the foot of the bed with my arms folded. Maddox stood on the opposite side. Between us sat approximately 600 pillows. Neither of us spoke. Finally, he pointed at the bed. So, we're really doing this? It's one night. He looked unconvinced. You say that like we haven't accidentally turned every simple situation into a full-blown disaster. Fair. He reached down, grabbed 2 decorative pillows, and laid them down the middle of the mattress. There. I blinked. What are you doing? A border. A border? The Great Pillow Wall, I laughed. You've named it? It deserves respect. He added another pillow. So, no crossing the border. I wasn't planning on invading your side. Good. I move around in my sleep. His eyebrows lifted. You do? I've been told. I also steal blankets. He looked horrified. Now that's just rude. I can't help it. I value my blanket. I value being warm. He sighed dramatically. This relationship may not survive. It's fake. My point still stands. I shook my head, smiling despite myself. You are unbelievable. I've heard. He disappeared into the bathroom and emerged a few minutes later wearing a plain gray t-shirt and black lounge pants. I blinked. What? Nothing. You looked. I absolutely did not. You definitely looked. I was observing. His grin spread slowly. Dangerous choice of words. I take it back. Too late. I grabbed my toiletry bag and escaped into the bathroom before my cheeks could betray me any further. A few minutes later, I emerged in an oversized cream sleep shirt that reached just above my knees. Maddox looked up from adjusting his pillow. For the first time since we'd met, he didn't have a joke ready. His eyes lingered for exactly 1 heartbeat before he looked away. You okay? I asked. He cleared his throat. Yep. That didn't sound convincing. I was thinking. About? The pillow wall. I narrowed my eyes. Liar. I panicked. I laughed. That, I believe. The lights clicked off. Moonlight spilled through the curtains, washing the room in pale silver. Carefully, I climbed into the left side of the bed. Maddox climbed into the right. The mattress dipped. I suddenly became hyper-aware of everything. The sound of his breathing, the rustle of the duvet, the fact that we were separated by little more than a line of decorative cushions. This isn't awkward at all, I whispered. Not even slightly. Silence. 30 seconds passed. Then, so? Maddox whispered. So? If I accidentally snore, I'll record it. I was hoping for sympathy. You've met the wrong woman. I definitely have. I smiled into the darkness. A few more minutes passed. Neither of us slept. You awake? He asked. No, right? I was sleep-talking, very convincingly. What about you? I was having a dream. Already? I'm efficient. A laugh escaped me before I could stop it. I knew you'd laugh. You set yourself up for that. I regret nothing. The room fell quiet again. Not uncomfortable, just still. Outside, rain began tapping softly against the windows. I've always liked that sound, I said. The rain? It makes everything feel slower. I get that. There was another stretch of silence. Then, unexpectedly, can I tell you something? His voice was softer now. Of course. When I first offered to be your fake date, he paused. I thought I was helping a stranger. I turned my head toward him. Moonlight caught the outline of his face. I know. I didn't expect, another pause, to actually look forward to spending time with you. My heart skipped. Maddox. I'm not saying that to make this weird. You've succeeded anyway. He laughed quietly. Sorry. No. I smiled. Don't be. The silence that followed felt different. Warmer. Safer. I rolled onto my side. At the exact same moment, he did too. The pillow wall shifted. One of the cushions slipped to the floor as our shoulders brushed. We both froze. Well, I whispered, so much for the border. It served bravely. It had a good run. We both laughed. The tension melted away. Somewhere during the conversation, neither of us had realized how tired we were. My eyes grew heavier. So, Maddox murmured. So? Good night, planner girl. I smiled into my pillow. Good night, coffee boy. The room settled into silence once more. Tomorrow we'd have to smile for photographs. Pretend our relationship was effortless. Face my past. Face his brother. Face a weekend neither of us had expected. But tonight, with the rain against the windows and laughter still lingering between us, the room didn't feel awkward anymore. It felt like the calm before the beautiful kind of chaos.